when some manufacturers say their cars are all new, they mean kinda, sorta all new. Maybe a revised engine, some tweaks to the sheet metal, but when Subaru says it, they mean it. The 2017 Impreza is new from the ground up, and that includes the aptly named new global platform, a retuned transmission, and a revamped interior. Inside the cabin is super roomy with space for 5, but if you're looking for a more refined design aesthetic like the Mazda 3, well, you're not going to find it here. Instead, Subaru's opted for a more utilitarian approach, but it is very well thought out. My premium trim has got the optional EyeSight safety technology, which offers adaptive cruise control and lane keeping assist. Now, I really like this adaptive cruise control system because I can set it at low speeds and it remains engaged when the car stops for a count of about 3. So it's really good in stop and go traffic. Now, Subaru says that it will apply a little bit of steering input when the car drifts out of a lane, but frankly, all I saw was the visual warning. I never felt anything come through the steering wheel. Also included in EyeSight is blind spot monitoring and a lane change assist, which will tell you if the cars are coming up really fast on either side of you and if it's safe to change lanes. Where the Impreza falls flat on its face, however, is with technology. Now, we've got a deep dive video covering everything about the Starlink, but for now, let's just say that if you're looking for something basic with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, well, the Impreza is your jam. If you're looking for all the bells and whistles, you're gonna have to look elsewhere. But where Subaru does knock it out of the park is cargo space. Behind my front seats, I've got 55 cubic feet of space, which is better than the Mazda 3 and the Ford Focus hatch. Flip those babies up and that goes down to 21, which is right about in line with the competition, but a little bit less than the Volkswagen Golf Sportwagen or the Alltrack. The Impreza is offered in a sedan, but really, why would you do that when the hatch is just so full of awesome? This 4th generation Impreza has gotten a little bit longer and a little bit wider, but still manages to maintain the same weight. But what's really exciting is that the chassis seems to have gotten a little bit jealous of Subaru's sporty BRZ model, because this year it is way more stiff and offers a revised suspension that keeps this car really flat and planted through the turns, but still manages to not rattle the teeth out of your skull over broken pavement. The new steering system matches the BRZ in terms of ratio, which means that it is much quicker than last year. Sure, it's an electric power steering setup, but that's just what you're gonna get these days. So it offers about as much feedback as you would expect, plus the weight is really good, especially at speed. The brakes are really firm and confidence-inspiring, plus you've got Subaru's excellent symmetrical all-wheel drive system, which is gonna offer you optimal traction in inclement weather and across pretty much any kind of terrain. So the Impreza? It's a pretty good little hatch. I just wish that Subaru had upped the power just a little bit. Standard across the trim lines is a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, good for 152 horsepower and 145 pound-feet of torque. Now, that's the same amount of torque as last year and only 4 ponies more. It's a fine engine, it's just a little underpowered. To wring everything out of this, you gotta be on the pipe all the time, every time. The good news is you can get a 5-speed manual in everything but the premium and limited trims. The bad news is I'm driving a premium, which means I get the dreaded continuously variable transmission. Now, I've gone on the record as saying how much I hate CVTs, but I gotta give props to Subie. This one is refined enough that I didn't want to shoot myself in the face every time I gave the car the beans. I mean, sure, it's a bit loud under load, but it does a really good job of putting the car in the most efficient part of the power band and keeping it there. So that helps this car get 37 miles per gallon out on the highway and 28 in the city. But real world is gonna vary. Right now, I'm only getting 26.5 after a week in this car. You can cycle through 7 step-like ratios through the paddle shifters, which helps with the fun quotient just a little bit, but if you like to drive, you should just get the manual. The 2017 Subaru Impreza starts at just over $18,000, but if you want to get a little jazzy, might I recommend the Sport model with the manual transmission and active torque vectoring? That will set you back about $22,500. As it is, my premium model here with the EyeSight safety technology, as well as these super cool steering responsive fog lights, that will set you back about $25,000. With all this goodness wrapped up into an affordable package, why would you buy any other hatchback?